Yeah.
So welcome to the fourth QJHA Business Mastery Series. You can find the other ones in our private Facebook group in the feed or by doing a search on the media. But it's also, all of them are accessible on our community in Kajabi, which is the same place I host my website. If you don't see it when you log in, log all the way out and back in, and you should see it there. It's next to where you would log into the academy. It'll be like below that or above that or next to that. Anyway, let me continue to let people in as I introduce you. So these Business Mastery Series calls are held on the 15th of each month, though at different times because we have a global, community. So it's sort of depending on whatever is convenient for our guest. And I'm going to have to keep like looking over here because I'm letting people in at the same time. Leslie, I think you have co-host abilities, so you can let people in if you would like. And then I'll take over when you start talking. But we introduce a different graduate every month, and we learn how they're using QJH in their professional practice. We find out what they're niching in, what their specialties are, any other modalities if they have any, and how they're incorporating all of this and making their own beautiful stew of life. So this series is designed to inspire you, to motivate you, to give you new ideas or new ways of looking at your existing practice and your experiences and modalities. So today's QJHA graduate and business owner is Leslee Helen. Though you can find her in our private Facebook group as Leslee Edmonson, who you can also apparently call Sunny, which I did not know until just yesterday, even though I stayed at her home last week for a night and did a trial run of all of the camping gear that we took with us. So thank you for that opportunity, by the way. It was very helpful. But I didn't know that your nickname was Sunny at all. I had no clue. Oh, now we can't hear you again.
I'm
So
starting to use it more.
Leslee is an intuitive marketing coach with a deep background in corporate marketing. She's passionate about helping holistic wellness professionals grow authentic businesses. And after a successful career in marketing and a spiritual awakening that revealed her clairvoyant abilities and some channeling, she transitioned to a new path of supporting other healers, hypnotherapists, spiritual teachers, and the like. So today she's going to be sharing some valuable insights and lessons from her own journey and how her work can help you grow your practice in alignment with your purpose. And she also has some cool tech skills that she's going to be putting to work with us in QJHA and helping people with building their websites, coming up with their fonts, colors, logos, and other stuff. And I'm going to let her tell you the rest. So let's give her a warm welcome, Leslee. Yay! Take it away, as long as we
Hi,
can hear
I'm
you.
so excited. Yeah, can you hear me okay? Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for taking the time to connect and for being here. I really appreciate it. So yes, I'm Leslee. I do go by Sunny. It was a childhood nickname, and just in the past year, it's like just really resonating for me to start going by that again. But I'll answer to anything. Um, I am going to go ahead and drop my email and my cell phone into the chat just so you guys can reach out at any time. I love connecting with QJH people. I have found some really beautiful friendships through this group. So, and I'm hungry for more. I'm just so excited. I graduated from QJH in April of this year, and I started my hypnosis business in May. And a
Oh,
little bit about
actually, this is a perfect time for a little plug. You graduated in April of this year because she attended the training, initially live and then went online halfway through or part of the way through. But yeah, so you got everything that you needed in a week. And
Yeah,
yeah,
the in-person training was incredible. I had been taking the courses online by myself, and then I decided to go to Wilmington, and the hands-on was just 180 degrees, and it just took all my fear away having that one-on-one guidance. So yeah, it was awesome. It was really awesome.
oh, I'm so glad to hear that. So there's another live training coming up
Yeah.
next spring. You can find information about it in all of the places, your email, the Facebook group, yada yada yada. But I was like, I can't pass up this moment
Yeah.
to plug the training, the live training, and it is online or in person, your choice. All right,
Yeah.
that's all.
And I did both. I had to leave the training after the first or second day. I can't remember, but it was still super impactful. So I'm a first generation American. My entire family, brothers, sisters, parents are from England. And I grew up in Florida. I lived in Stuart, Florida for most of my life. I went on to pursue a career in opera, which is very random, and I actually sang professionally for about 5 years with various East Coast companies and productions. I then accidentally fell into marketing roles in the medical world, specifically plastic surgery offices. And we'll talk about that a little bit later because I've had a huge shift in my own identity and kind of the things that I find are important about like showing up authentically. But I worked in the medical field and in marketing for about 18 years, focusing on photography, videography, events, both live and in person, graphic design, web design. And I also had a big portion of my career that was focused to customer service and retaining those clients and sales strategies and best practices for ornery customers and all types of different things. Anyhow, I had a big shift in my life that caused a spiritual awakening, and now I'm a farmer. I live on a farm with cows and a small herd of children. I have three young daughters, one, 3, and 6. And I'm also like a hobby artist. I draw, I sketch, I paint, and yeah. So how did I get here? When I was growing up in Florida in the 80s and 90s, I had a very musical family, but we were also very poor. I had a terribly abusive father who was just like your textbook narcissist, but he had a lot of mental health issues that were untreated. And so I had a lot of emotional and sexual trauma. And then my parents divorced when I was 10, and my mom completely left. And so I had a lot of abandonment issues and just layers and layers of stuff through, the age of 10 to about like 18. When I was 18, I actually got a music scholarship to a local community college. And I never thought I was going to go to college. My plan was actually to go into the military because I thought that that was the only way that I would make anything of myself. And so, after 2 years at a community college, I was fortunate enough to receive a scholarship to Stetson University in DeLand, Florida. And I attended there from 2003 to 2006. In '06, I got a graduate teaching assistantship to the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, where I got my master's. And I was also teaching music. I was teaching lessons. I had a studio of about 12 singers. But then I got a summer job at a plastic surgery office, and I was just doing like customer service and, check in and check out. But I got really excited about this is, there wasn't Instagram at the time, but Facebook and blogs. And we used to do a lot of events. And so that's kind of where like the marketing seed was planted. In 2008, I got married to another opera singer and I got a big promotion at work. And I was helping with sales and business to business partnerships. We were opening satellite offices left and right. But personally, I was still dealing with a lot of unhappiness and depression. And I had done traditional talk therapy forever. And I found a local hypnotist on Google in Knoxville, and I had my first hypnosis session. And this guy actually, I don't know if he studied directly with Dr. Brian Weiss, but he was basically teaching that modality, and it was life changing for me. I can't even explain it. I mean, you guys know you're hypnotists, so that kind of led me to discover a lot of different individuals like Dr. Brian Weiss and then Neil Donald Walsh and Eckhart Tolle and Ram Dass, and then discovering the energy centers like the chakras and then quantum mechanics. And I just started to really become on fire for these kind of expansive topics. Um, a few years go by, and this shift is kind of uprooting my life, which at the time I thought really sucked. Um, but my identity began to shift. And the gentleman that I had married was a really great person, but he was a strict Catholic from a very strict Catholic family. And in 2013, we actually divorced, and I left my entire life behind in Knoxville, my job, my home, everything. It was a tremendous shift, and I ended up moving to Charlotte to be closer to my family that was living here at the time. I got a job at another plastic surgery office, and I ended up becoming their marketing director. And I had about a team of 10 different individuals that were marketing professionals in various different avenues underneath me. And I managed them and managed the entire marketing for the practice. The practice was about 6 or 7 physicians. In 2015, just a couple years later, I met and married my husband. We got married
Your
in Vegas.
microphone has gone out.
Oh no. All right. How about now?
I can hear her, Kryssa.
Me too.
I can hear
Yeah.
you too.
Good.
It looks like everybody else can hear you.
Okay. Hopefully it comes back online for you. Let me know if not. I just unplugged and replugged in, so I don't know if that helps. So yeah, my husband and I got married in Vegas. He is a very passionate person, and so it was a very fun time of my life to I felt like I was figuring out who I was. And at the time, I think I was in my early 30s. In 2017, we had our first daughter, and then my marketing role started to get a bit more creative, which speaks to my artistic side. I wasn't singing much anymore. I was a little bit in some local churches, and I was in a choir for the Charlotte Symphony, but as far as doing like the solo on stage thing, I didn't really have a creative outlet. And so we had our graphic designer quit, and I was like, well, I can do that. And I taught myself how to do graphic design, and then I taught myself how to do photography and videography, and then a little bit of website design. And we were also doing these huge in-person and online events, monthly webinars. And I was also helping with the customer service aspect of every touch point of the customer journey, from discovering us online to coming into the office, the experience they had there, and then, follow up, getting them to book the procedures, and then the aftercare and so on. In 2020, I was pregnant with my second daughter, and we had some really tremendous complications, and my doctors were encouraging me to terminate the pregnancy. And there was something inside of me, I'm trying not to get emotional, but that told me this is not true. Like, I had been in the medical field my whole life, so trusting doctors was like ingrained in me. But I had this inner conflict. And so I spent a lot of time in grief, but also in meditation and prayer and journaling and free writing. And weird things started happening with animals and all different types of signs and synchronicities. And long story short, I had a 30-minute conversation with my dead grandmother, Ruby, because of a red cardinal that landed on my shoe. And I began channeling through free writing almost every day. And then I would start to have kind of images pop into my head. And so these kind of intuitive gifts started to come online. And Blake was born at the end of 2020 in November. Perfect, completely miraculous. The doctors were absolutely shocked, and they still talk about how she is like this weird case study in how some things just don't turn out the way that the medical professionals think that they will. So my obsession with all things metaphysical and spiritual went on steroids at this point. This is also where my YouTube obsession started. I was just joking with Kryssa before the call. I spend a lot of time listening to different teachers, healers, and marketing stuff, but I listen to a lot of content on YouTube, probably anywhere from 2 to 6 hours a day. I also run some weird hours. I'm up at 5:30 until about 1 a.m. So I never do it at a time where I'm neglecting those little humans that need me, but I'm typically, consuming a lot of spiritual and metaphysical and just interesting content. Since that time, everything has moved really fast. In 2021, we decided to leave the city and move way out into the middle of nowhere in Western North Carolina. We live in a little town where there's about 380 people. And we bought a farm, and the farm is Legacy Acres. We have cows. We also farm hay. We do a lot of stuff with heavy equipment like skid steers and excavators. And we also have a YouTube channel that I've neglected terribly. But we do have a YouTube channel for the farm. And hopefully I hope to turn this place into a retreat space where we can gather and have some fellowship. At that time, I also started working as a practice manager for my own satellite office. So I was marketing it, but I was also managing it fully. So hiring, firing, paying all the bills, managing the vendors, doing all the outreach and business to business partnerships. And I managed a team of 2 physicians, 1 or 2 physician assistants, 2 registered nurses, and about 3 estheticians and some front desk staff. But the next year, in 2022, I actually decided to end my career completely. I just felt this call to serve humanity. I didn't know how I was going to do it, though. I didn't feel qualified. I had been in this medical world where everyone had letters behind their name, and I felt grossly underqualified to say, hey, I'm going to help you. So that's when I started really looking into hypnosis. It really called to me because it had shifted my life so much. And so in 2023, really started getting serious, took the course, signed up for QJH, had my 3rd daughter, Riley, and then started my business here in 2024. Which all leads me to my personal philosophy in business. So I think that your life experiences make you an expert in your field. And if you share what you already know, you're typically helping individuals who need that specific guidance because of where they are in their journey right now. So for me, it was overcoming all of my stuff, breaking free of false beliefs, programming, stepping beyond my fear, judgments, and attachments, and moving into a state of acceptance and joy and intention. So my primary goal has kind of evolved from like, I want to help to I want to help you help, because it occurred to me that I can make a much bigger impact on the world. If it's not just me teaching people how to fish, but if it's all of you guys teaching people how to fish, we're going to make a much greater shift with the consciousness of humanity. So my business is actually 2 portions. On one side, I focus on personal transformations, which is giving spiritual clients the ability to connect to source themselves so that they can receive guidance, they can enhance their gifts, their extrasensory perceptions, and so on, and so that they can move into heart-based coherence, a heart space consciousness, and then start proactively improving their own lives. And then the second portion of that is helping professionals with their transformation. So I give my marketing clients empowerment and autonomy by helping them dissolve limitations, get intentional, align with their ideal brand vision, providing simple solutions so that healers can focus on healing their clients and not all of the back end stuff. I also have a great passion for leveraging free resources so that you can use your budget wisely. I don't think that you have to spend a ton of money on all of these really complicated resources. And overall, I want you to feel intimately connected to your brand in a way where you are operating from joy. And there's this favorite quote that I stumbled upon. It says, "A healer does not heal you. A healer is someone who holds space for you while you awaken your inner healer so that you may heal yourself." So, professionally, my LLC is 2 Hawks, and I have 2 DBAs, 2 doing business ads. as. One of them is Two Hawks Hypnosis. This is where I mainly work with women on a journey of healing, growth, and expansion. I have worked with some men, and I am open to that. I'm happy to do that. It's just that when I started with my community group, it was simpler for me to keep that portion of it all female. But essentially, we work on healing, growth, and expansion, and all to achieve the goal of living a life of authenticity. Um, Also, with QJH, we're able to forge this beautiful relationship with the higher self. And I feel that that is a integral part of being able to guide their own life with confidence. I support people both one-on-one and within a community setting. So I provide quantum journeys hypnosis sessions. I do intuitive readings. Sometimes I bring in cards like tarot and oracle. I provide one-on-one private mentorship on a monthly basis where you can work with me. We have Zoom calls every week. We talk about what's going on in your life. I keep you accountable. And then I also have my group membership, which right now is a Facebook group, and I hope to transition that when it grows a little bit more. But right now, that is actually serving my needs quite well. And then my other DBA is Two Hawks Marketing, which is where I'm working with business owners and brands, specifically businesses that are spiritual, holistic, or wellness in nature. So your hypnotists, your Reiki healers, acupuncturists, sound healers, things like that. And I'm using QJH to help these individuals dissolve anything that is holding them back from that success, which could be a lot of different things. False beliefs about money, or patterns of behavior that have to do with not showing up fully in their power, stepping into their power. And we through the quantum jump, we can actually align with their business as it exists on its highest timeline in the quantum field. So we get really clear on what that ideal brand vision is, and then we connect with it under hypnosis so that they can start aligning their frequency with that brand as it exists, and getting all of our steps set up in that forward momentum kind of way. On the more kind of concrete side, what that looks like is logos, branding, brand standards, websites, graphic design for social contents, videos for YouTube or reels for different social channels, content calendars, and then, of course, like coaching and business support. The marketing side is my favorite because, again, I just feel like I can make the biggest impact. But I do also love the personal side. And one thing that I've learned along the way is that what I should have done was created one website for Two Hawks that kind of gives you the option to go to the personal side or the professional side. But right now I do have two separate websites, twohawks-hypnosis.com and then twohawks-marketing.com. And so that's one kind of, I don't want to call it a regret because it has worked well so far. People are finding me where they need me. And I certainly do help with both. If someone, both needs personal guidance or support on their awakening journey and they are a wellness professional, I can certainly do both. But that is definitely one thing that I would have done differently. So the places where I'm spending my energy. So when I first started, it was like, oh my God, I have to do all the things because that's what I learned in the medical field was like, we are this big business with a multi-million-dollar marketing budget. And so we were everywhere. And so I was, developing my websites, which I spent so much time on. I had a blog on blogger.com, and I'm starting to transition that actually to being on my own personal site. And that has affiliate links and ebooks and, YouTube uploads and playlists. When I first started out, my YouTube channel is my passion project. I'm starting to spend more time there, but at the beginning, I just made playlists of like my favorite meditations and my favorite hypnosis and my favorite spiritual teachers, so that I could actually like start interacting with that community of people. Also on Pinterest, I was promoting the blog on Pinterest and also my website on Pinterest, and doing a couple of like affiliate links. But I learned that I really don't like the affiliate links because it feels like selling, and selling is just not really in alignment for me after all of those years of trying to sell plastic surgery to people. Um, Facebook, I have my own personal page. I have a business page, and then I have my group space. And my group space is where I do a lot of live events, live chats, and then I take those videos and I repurpose them for YouTube or social media. My Facebook is also connected to my Instagram. So I usually don't spend a whole lot of time on Instagram. And I actually did a microsite just like Kryssa did, so that it's almost like a mini landing page so that I don't have to spend a lot of time on Instagram, but really just kind of repurpose a lot of video content there. I'm on TikTok. That is probably where I'm spending the most of my time right now, because it was where I was the most unfamiliar. And I've really enjoyed it because I've met a really great community of individuals, and my following is growing every day. And I'm probably on there 2 or 3 days a week. And I've learned that I really like to do short form video. I think it's because I'm consuming so much video content on YouTube, and then it's like I get these epiphanies or I get these really great thoughts, and I can just kind of hop on there and contribute. Um, and then, of course, my YouTube, which is where I'm going to be spending my winter months cultivating a bit more content. I'm also on Reddit. I spend a lot of time using Reddit for research and just testing and tuning things, seeing how things perform, like blogs. And I use it a lot for networking. When I was getting my QJH certification, that's where I found all of my practice clients, was in the Reddit communities. Um, I am also on LinkedIn, and it's funny, my notes here, I have a little pukey face because I hate LinkedIn so much. And so I don't spend a lot of time there. And I'll be really authentic here. The reason I don't like LinkedIn is because it was such a huge part of my career with the plastic surgery office. And so when I pulled away from my previous career and had to get back on there as a hypnotist and as a consciousness coach, and like, I just felt very exposed. I wasn't completely out of the spiritual closet, so to speak. And so LinkedIn was tough, but I'm there. I just did it. I ripped the Band-Aid off, and I've been spending some time fine tuning the different people that I follow in the network there. And then I also have, yeah, I will definitely put my links in the chat. Absolutely. And then I have a link tree. If you guys don't have a link tree, I really think it's great. It's something that you can put on all of your social channels and just kind of bring all of your stuff together under one umbrella. And I will put that in right now so that you guys can kind of poke around, because pretty much everything is on my link tree. There we go. And I change it a lot, and it's easy to change. And I do have the free version. I don't pay for that link tree. And you can really make it, like, you'll see my icon at the top is actually a GIF. So it's like really engaging, and you can make it look really nice even with the free version. Yay! Kryssa loves Linktree. It's awesome. So yeah, let's see. So just some thoughts and not advice, but just kind of my experience. I think it's really important to focus on the places where you want to be, because if you hate it, you won't do it, AKA LinkedIn. I'm not going to spend time there So I'm not going to do it. And I'm really enjoying doing the short form video content, but it took a lot of trial and error for me to really realize that. So try all the things, and what resonates, cultivate it, and what doesn't, then commit to doing it every once in a while. Find yourself a schedule that makes sense, but don't beat yourself up and guilt yourself because you're not spending every day on Facebook. If you really don't enjoy being on Facebook, that energy is going to translate through your posts, through your interactions. And it's just not authentic to be showing up in places where you're like, ugh, getting the ick. But that said, I felt that way about TikTok. And I really had to be honest with myself. Well, did I have a good understanding of TikTok? No, I wasn't spending time on it. I didn't understand it. I was afraid of it. So I just got on there and I putzed around for a few weeks, not knowing what I was doing. And now I really enjoy it. Um, I think it's important to start cultivating a presence and an audience in maybe one or two places at the beginning. And luckily, Facebook and Instagram, you can connect those two. And a lot of the short form video stuff you can share to your Facebook stories, your Instagram stories, and your YouTube reels. And your TikTok. So, you can find things that you can repurpose in other places. Some thoughts on promoting on social. The best way to promote yourself is typically just being yourself. And I think a lot of us want to show up and be super polished and professional, and that's great. And yeah, you should. And if you think that's important, but a lot of times, like on my TikTok, I'm a farmer, so you're going to see me in a ball cap and sunglasses. Sometimes I'm going to be on the tractor. I'm going to have a kid that's on my shoulder, and I think that people in this day and age, they don't want to be sold to anymore. Information is too readily available. People are able to do their own research in a way that really allows them to be in the driver's seat of their decision making. And they're also tuning into their own gifts. So people are coming online and they will feel if you're not being authentic. So some things that I have really been appreciative of is AI. And I was one of those people that I never thought that I would say that. But Kryssa and her course with learning AI completely changed the way that I do everything. I used to do copywriting and it would take me hours and hours to write a blog. And now I can essentially, I don't want to say program, but I can configure you.com, you.com, with a series of prompts and directives. I can create blogs in minutes and tweak them and fine tune them, but the content is exactly as I would represent it. So leverage AI to your benefit. And if you don't know how to use it, Kryssa's course is awesome. But there are a ton of resources on YouTube. Consider the type of content you enjoy. Go where you want to be. Follow your joy, as Bashar would say, or follow your passion and your joy. Because if you really enjoy connecting with people, you just have to find the way that resonates for you, how to connect with them. If you don't like connecting with them, then, find a way to create content for yourself that you enjoy and share that with the world. So yeah, we were talking earlier about the platforms that are integrated. So Facebook and Instagram, you could do those two together. YouTube and TikTok, those are very much integrated. You could do those together, and it's also a similar audience. And Pinterest and blogs, if you're more into like written form, or you want to start doing more educational type posts or inspirational type posts, those two pair up well together. So I'm somebody who has to be really, really smart about my time. And I think it's also important to create a strategy that works for you. Frequency, like how many posts you want to commit to in a week, is really essential. Consistency is everything. It is better to put out a couple things every Monday, Friday, or every Tuesday, Thursday, than it is to like do something on Monday and then wait a week and then do something on like Thursday, Friday. having a good strategy that is consistent and clear is how you're going to get the most engagement. And likes are really not a good indicator of how well you're doing. Something that I learned in plastic surgery is that they used to buy followers. And so their presence would look awesome online. They would have like 15,000 likes or followers on their account. But then anything that they would put out, they would only have like 40 or 50 people that actually engaged with it. A lot of times it's one or two people that are actually going, I'm going to click through the website. I'm going to book a consultation call. So don't get too hung up on how many people are seeing your posts. Start focusing on how many people are actually converting. Those leads are transitioning into actual conversions for you. Personally, I plan about a month at a time, and I give myself time to create content, time to post or upload content, and time to do my research and planning for the upcoming month. I suggest using a scheduler if you can. Facebook has a wonderful scheduler where you can plan out posts for, I think, about 3 months. I usually use it just a month at a time. And again, it's connected to Instagram. And so you could use that for a lot of your content. There's also Hootsuite. Hootsuite does have a free trial and Asana, and you can even use your Google Calendar. I use sheets.google.com and I create all of my posts on there. Honestly, I downloaded a really great template from Etsy and I use it to plan all of my content and do all of my strategic marketing. And so just having like a strategy and a plan, it doesn't have to feel rigid. It just has to be a workflow that resonates with you. And it's really good to understand kind of what your personality type is. Do you procrastinate or are you super proactive? Do you prefer a little pressure or does that make you crumble and put you into panic mode? And your answer to these might be yes, and it may not be either or. You might be a lot of different things. But
I'm
it's
so glad that you
important to
brought that up because everybody, just like everybody learns differently, everybody approaches things differently. And those one size fits all marketing things, I've spent a lot of money on learning how to market, and I would say easily 50% of them didn't mesh with how I learn at all. So I'm so glad you brought that up. And sorry, I've been off
Yes.
camera. I'm
You're
recovering
okay.
from something I picked up a few days ago. So just keep going. But I just want to say thank
You're
you.
good. You're good. Something that I'm working on, and it's still in its infancy, but I created this thing called the Serenity Schedule Technique. And it came to me in a meditation. But what I do is obviously I have like a monthly calendar where I have like birthdays and appointments and doctor's visits and all the important stuff. But I take a dry erase board every day and I divide the dry erase board into 3 sections. The first section I call energy in. So these are things that fill me up and make me feel rejuvenated. So this might be anything from taking a walk in nature, taking a nap, having a meal or a cup of tea. But basically where I'm acquiring energy. And then I have the other box, which is energy out. So this is stuff that isn't super enjoyable, folding laundry, mowing the grass, things like that. And then at the bottom of the dry erase board in the 3rd section, I create a schedule for the day. What works for me is doing tasks for about 40 to 60 minutes. And then I alternate and I actually use 2 different colors. So I'll start like I have my 2 hours in the morning by myself, but once everybody gets off to work and school, I start this 40-minute back and forth between tasks that are energy in and tasks that are energy out. So energy in might be stretching when I get up or having some yoga, and then energy out, I might go through my bills. And again, it's these 40-minute increments. And I structure my whole day that way so that I'm not getting burned out. I'm not beating myself up because I didn't finish something. It creates a really balanced approach to my day. And then obviously, you have certain days where you have, like, this is my day to do research, and this is my day to create a video, and this is my day to write a blog. Those get plugged in. And if it takes more than 40 minutes, then you just put it in however many times you need to get that task accomplished. But it has absolutely freaking changed my life, and I love it. And I am going to try to I'm going to try to turn it into an ebook eventually. Um, Another helpful little tip is understanding the basics of the algorithms behind each platform. And this isn't something where you have to kill yourself with research. If you go on YouTube and you search, you know, Instagram algorithm basics, how to understand Facebook's algorithm, and obviously look for stuff that is current for 2024. But there are people who have already done all this work for you. Like I can tell you with Instagram, quality over quantity. It's better to have 100 followers who are engaged than it is to have 100,000 followers who are not. So it's better to have niche related content, you know, down the sales funnel. Shares, when content is shareable, that overrides the algorithm. So you can prioritize that. And each share equals approximately 1,000 extra views. Share worthy content doesn't necessarily have to be educational. It can just be entertaining. Like, this is what I needed to do today, or a call to arms, like help spreading a message, or relatable content like this, like where someone can say, oh, yeah, that's me. I do the same thing. Controversial, contrarian, or unpopular opinions, uncommon opinions, anything that's trending. So yeah, there are a lot of little tips and tricks that you can learn for each platform after you figure out kind of where you want to be. That'll help you. And again, do a little research on the people on the platforms that you engage with, you know, understanding your ideal client avatar. Again, Kryssa's course is hugely pivotal on that. But through a series of questions on you.com, you can get intimately, you can get such an intimate understanding of where your people are, what they don't want to be, how they don't want to be sold to, what they do resonate with, what types of issues are they struggling with, what types of solutions have they already tried. It's great. We already talked about Linktree being just a really great tool for all the things. It's basically like a microsite and it's free. There's also an email automation program called MailerLite. It is free up to 1,000 subscribers, and you can send 1,000 emails per month. And so once you start building your database, this is a great way to just do your email marketing for your audience. That's free. Canva, I have based my entire graphic design career in Canva. I used to use Adobe and spend thousands of dollars on these really fancy things. And Canva was the place where I had the most success. And a lot of professional graphic designers are exclusively on Canva. So it is the stuff. The free plan is extremely robust. I think the paid plan now is like $14 a month. So it's very reasonable. But this is becoming, they're integrating a lot of business tools. It's always growing. I do obviously graphic design, but I also do a lot of video editing there. I've designed my digital business cards. I've designed my ebooks. You can do PowerPoint presentations. Yes. Yes, it is. It is, again, if you're not familiar with it, go on YouTube and search, you know, Canva for beginners, and like just all the different opportunities there. It's endless. I use Calendly for my booking. And it does have a Zoom integration and a PayPal integration. So you can do it for basically your whole practice. I'm using PayPal right now for my payments, subscriptions, and my invoices. I was already on PayPal, so like I just started using some of their additional features, which was really, really, really helpful. Again, really not expensive stuff here, right? I don't even think I have a subscription with PayPal. They just take a fee. So yeah, it's really helpful. I use Google Forms for all of my client intake forms, my consents, policies. I also have a free quiz that people can take, which is Can I Be Hypnotized? So it allows me to capture their email on my website, but Google Forms is great. Also, Google Sheets I use for all of my financials on the back end. This is where I'm tracking my profit and loss. This is where I'm doing my monthly sales and use tax for the state, just everything. I do have a blogger. Again, I'm probably going to transition away from that because it's really beneficial to have people on your site. And, Blogger is just this thing that's outside of my brand that it just really isn't directing people back to my other offerings. So even though I could put a link to like, hey, book a session, my site has become so robust that I really just want to keep people in that universe. So I'll be moving away from that. But Blogger is free and it is searchable. So people can search topics and discover your content on Blogger. So maybe you want to copy and paste and do both. Kindle Direct Publishing. This is your ebooks, which again, if you need some type of way to gather clients and start a lead funnel, it's so simple to use AI to do an ebook on your niche. I have one that's called Awakening Authenticity. It's a 30-day journaling adventure for women with 10 bonus questions for spiritual expansion. And at first, I just had it as a downloadable link on my website where I could capture email addresses, but got on YouTube and learned that I could put it on Amazon for sale. And I have it on there for, I think, $4.44. And then my lead funnel is like, but you could get it for free if you download here. And you can even order a soft cover or a hard cover in your book. So that's another like essentially free thing. They just take their fee in the back end. We talked about you.com. CapCut, CapCut, is a really awesome free video and audio editing platform. It has, even with the free plan, an online cloud where you can store, I can't remember how many hours of data and content, but I do a lot of my video and audio editing on CapCut because I can do it on my phone on the app, or I can sit down on my laptop and it's the same cloud. So all of my stuff is in one place. I can record on my phone or I can record on my webcam, whatever, and it's all in one place. YouTube. I don't think we talk about YouTube enough. You don't necessarily have to be on camera if that's not your jam. You could do some audio and use Canva to make some really stunning visuals, or even just have a static screen. Somebody who does this really well on YouTube is Brian Scott. Oh my God, I love Brian Scott's meditations, and he's really into hypnosis, and he reads a lot of spiritual texts, and he really likes unfamiliar, uncommon texts that people don't know about. But YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google. And just like I use it to do research, how do I do da 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 da? Everyone else is doing that too. So I do think that it is a great place to put yourself. If you are a hypnotist and you're not doing some short form hypnosis audio, you don't necessarily have to do a big hour-long audio. You can do these quick, I think Lisa Morgan talked about this the other day, where she's doing these short hypnosis audio that are just a couple minutes a day. And this could be like your morning wake up hypnosis or right before you go to bed hypnosis, and then tackle different topics related to your niche. It is a really great way to be found and discovered. And plus, that's showing up on Google. So, and Reddit is showing up on Google. Reddit, that's one of the primary reasons that I'm on there, is because being in those communities, if you post something within a certain Reddit community, not a certain Reddit community, any Reddit community, it's going to be more likely to show up on Google search results or search engine search results.
Do you offer any sort of help if somebody wanted to hire you to help them learn how to get started with these different things? Okay, fantastic. Beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. And it's something where I have packages that I offer grads and other professionals. I have some packages specifically for QJH grads. But for everyone, you can also work with me to build a customized plan where we tackle what you want to tackle. We assess, where the gaps are in your particular plan, and we do a custom relationship. So yes, absolutely.
So can you audit like somebody's website and offerings and all that stuff? Okay, I might have to hire you for that because there's just so many and I can't I just need help with organizing it, auditing. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, no, a lot of people are already kind of started. Like most of us already have a site, and there's so many great templated sites like Wix and Squarespace and Kajabi where you just plug and play and it's amazing. But there's always something that you can do to make it a little bit more personalized, a little bit more strategic. So yeah, I do a lot of like refreshes. And then two other apps that I really like to use is I have this app called Camo, Camo Studio, and this is where you can use your iPhone as a webcam. I have an old iPhone, it's an iPhone 11, but that camera is infinitely better than this crappy little camera that I'm using right now on my laptop. And you plug it in with a USB cable and you can use it for high definition video. So if you do plan on making some video content, you don't need to go out and buy all this fancy video equipment. I have my microphone is from Amazon. I think it was $40. You don't have to have a lot of like really fancy equipment to be able to show up. If people can see you and hear you, there are just some really great ways to reach your audience and look super professional and clean. And then Teachable, if you're thinking about doing courses or a membership, Teachable has a free plan as well. I think right now it's a little limited where you can do like one course. But again, this trial and error phase where you're trying to figure out like, do I even want to do this? Do I even want to show up in this space? Trying it out on a free plan is a whole lot better than signing up for a year-long plan and then you're like, I hate this. I don't want to do this. Don't be afraid to just try stuff and make mistakes. And they're not really mistakes, right? Mistakes is they're learning opportunities across the board. And then lastly, I'll just close with some of the things that I'm working on and that these are like on my vision board. Because real life talk here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still figuring it out too. I do have this really great marketing background, but as far as like building two hawks and showing up authentically for my niche and the people that I want to serve, I'm going through that process right now. And so, what I'd really like to do is grow my membership group. It's called the Conscious Collective. I'm actually going to open it it's like $22 a month, but I'm going to open it for free for some ambassadors. I'm probably going to let in maybe like 15 or 20 women who want to be ambassadors for the Conscious Collective. If that interests you, please let me know. It's essentially a Facebook group where we are talking about our own awakening process so that we can support one another on the journey. And what I do there is I create like talks and mini master classes. Cassidy Green, who's a QJH hypnotherapist, she doesn't know this yet, but she's going to be invited on for a master class. Kryssa, you are too. You just don't know it yet. But when I'm creating these courses and these master classes and these talks for my Conscious Collective group, I'm also putting those on YouTube and sharing them so that people can come across it and they see this and they're like, oh, that's pretty cool. There's like a group that gets together and talks about these things, and then they can join the group. So it helps me, and it's like I'm double dipping. I'm working on a 6-week course right now, which is awakening to your authenticity. And I'm doing that on YouTube, and I'm going to turn it eventually into a lead magnet and maybe as an ad on YouTube. But right now, because of the Hurricane Helene hit our area and kind of put us in chaos mode for a week or so, I'm a little behind on posting, but I hope to cultivate that very soon. I've recorded 2 of the videos. And being an opera singer in my life, I feel very called to sound healing, but I have no freaking idea what I want to do with it. So I'm thinking about I found a free course where I could learn a bit about sound healing. If any of you know anything about sound healing, please message me. I'd love to learn more. But I'm not using my voice except for nighttime lullabies and like 1980s cover songs in the shower. Send me an angel, like all of these like random moments where I'm just bursting into song, but I really want to use it in a way that is more in service. I talked to you about the Serenity schedule. I want to do something with that. And then I would like to open the Two Hawks shop. I would like to have a place on my website where I am maybe selling Canva templates for my marketing people, video templates for people who want to be on YouTube, but I also draw and paint. And I also make shamanic tools. The farm is a magical place where I find animal bones and feathers. And the other day, I found this cluster of acorns that was in the most miraculous geometric pattern. And I have two friends that are medicine people. I have a girlfriend who's a shaman and does like regular ceremonies. And we've been talking about working together to make some shamanic tools, maybe things that people can put, on their altar when they're doing their vision ceremonies and they're getting intentional or whatever. But these nature crafts have become a huge part of my life, and I would love to share that with the world too. um and then I also have a friend who is into using psilocybin to help people with their trauma. And in our area, there are a lot of professionals that are into mushrooms and psilocybin and just all of the magic of plant medicine. And so that's something that's really been interesting to me, and I'm learning a lot about that. And what came to me in a meditation was psilocybin enhanced chakra attunements, like energetic attunements using like microdosing. So those are just some things that I'm interested in. And again, I'm figuring it out and trying to like do some trial and error and decide where I want to be. And it's not necessarily about what's going to bring me the most money and what's going to bring me the most clients. It's more about like I'm following my joy and following that passion, to just really align with who my higher self wants to express as. And that's really been like the biggest part for me is after having that hypnosis session in my 20s and realizing that there was this whole other part of me that had been hidden. It's been a beautiful process of discovery, of listening to that voice. And what I've noticed about other business owners is that we are all, oh, Jonathan Goldman. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'll definitely look into that.
I
We're
just
all
shared somebody
typically
else with you too in Instagram, the Mind Orchestra. And
that sounds great.
the guy's name is Nick Gent. He's in the UK, and he's been doing sound healing, singing. I'll send you the YouTube too, so you can listen to some of his stuff. But Jonathan Goldman, Ruthie Ann has a really interesting anecdote about the humming effect on her health. So you should reach out to her about that because it's pretty fascinating. Yeah.
Thank you, Ruthie Ann. Oh, I'm excited.
I love how we
Yeah.
all just like have different pieces of the puzzle to help each other out, you know?
That's what it's all about. But that's really it. That's my talk. The last thing I'll say is just like we're all such passionate people. If you have started your own business or if you are starting your own business, you are a really passionate person. And typically what I've noticed is that you want to make genuine connections. You really want to be of service. It's not typically about money. If you were really focused on money, you would just stay in corporate America. This is about something more that is calling you forth, and it's bringing these hidden parts of you online. And so that's really where my passion is to like help you express that in the world. Um so yeah. And if anyone has any questions, please let me know. I would love to
Thank you
chat
so
more.
much. I could totally use your help with just getting a footing and feeling comfortable with like Reddit, for example, or I have YouTube channels, but I don't really promote them. Like I can put content up, but I have no idea how to really get it out there other than going on Facebook and asking for likes and subscribes, which has not, I have a pretty big following on Facebook, but it's not translating over. When I'm asking people to like and subscribe, they're just like, eh. So
Yeah.
anyway, but it is nice that I'm findable on YouTube. I just don't know how to really like, so I would love your help with that. And you've got social media skills in a lot of places where I don't. So that's awesome. It's like it fits
Yeah.
fits together. So yeah. And maybe you can help some other people, if they hire you as like a business coach to audit whatever they've got going on. Maybe they've got the website, or maybe they've got the logo, or maybe they've got the colors picked out, but they don't like the verbiage, or, just whatever. I think it's fascinating that you are so multi-talented and that you're here with us to help us.
I do all the things and I love all the things. I'm like a golden retriever. I just get so excited. But, hypnosis has been incredible because even if you do like, okay, I hope Carolyn doesn't mind, but Carolyn Mather and I linked up because she has started her hypnosis business, but it's not something that she wants to devote a large amount of energy to because she
Did
was
you meet her
already.
in the live training also?
I did. Yeah. I met her in the live
Yet
training
another reason
and
to do the live training because you meet best friends that you didn't know that
oh
you
my
needed.
God. We call each other sister and we talk almost every day. We've forged this beautiful friendship. I love it. But for her, I designed her logo and her brand colors and her brand standards. And we did it all through meditation. I did not hypnotize her, but we did it where we essentially, because she's very intuitive as well, and she's a hypnotherapist. Um, a lot of times hypnosis and meditation is going to reveal kind of what is resonating with you once you get your conscious analytical mind out of the way. um and I'm so intuitive as well that I just started pulling it. Like we had this meditation together, and then I went on Canva and I started pulling all of these images, and we just shared them back and forth through WhatsApp, and we just kept honing it and honing it and honing it. And she was like, "I feel like you were in my head. I feel like you pulled this out of my soul. This is resonating so hard." Like she got teary-eyed and had
Oh, that's
chills, and like
awesome.
that's what it's about. I'm not doing anything but helping you tap into what is already there. So
What a
hypnosis,
fantastic approach to helping somebody with,
oh, it's
their business and their branding and everything, to do this as this collaborative, almost magical um, team effort. I love that. I love that so
it's so
much.
fulfilling. It's much better than trying to sell tummy tucks and breast
Yeah.
augmentations to people who are
I
insecure about
bet.
their bodies. And I'm like, no, you need this. It's such a,
Uh,
my life has been like 180 degrees. And it's like,
yeah.
I almost feel disgusted about my plastic
You
surgery
need
past that I had
self-love,
to.
not plastic surgery, but you had to go through that. We have
Yes.
to figure out what we don't like sometimes. That's equally
Yes.
as valid. I've been saying that since taking my first hypnotherapy course. You
Yes.
have to learn what you don't want to do sometimes too. Anyway,
Right.
I'm gonna cut this short if you guys don't mind. I'm still recuperating from being in Western North Carolina. I picked something up. I don't know what. It was getting better and it just kind of got worse in the last like couple hours. Um, so thank you so much. And if you guys want to reach out to Leslee to discuss anything specific, she has given you, let's see, a couple of links here. And you can also pop them into the Facebook group. So
Yes.
twohawksacademy@gmail.com. Oh, that's nice. You gave us your number too.
Yes, that
So
is actually, I have a
copy that now if
business
you want.
cell. That's my business. That's actually my personal cell. So, and I'm
There you
on
go.
WhatsApp and Voxer, but that's my website. I actually do
Perfect.
have some special QJH packages on my site. You'll see it on the homepage. But again,
Awesome.
oh, thanks, Ruthie Ann. Um, Custom relationships are the name of the game. Like, it's important to meet people where they're at. So, yeah, but
Absolutely.
thank you guys so much for your time. I've
Nice.
had so much fun.
Thank you, Leslee. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone who showed up today.
Thank you,
All right.
Kryssa, for organizing.
Yeah, and this will be on YouTube. We have a private YouTube channel, and then it'll also be in the Facebook group feed and also the Kajabi communities. It's going to go in 3 places. All right. You can't miss it.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Have a good one.
You too. Bye bye.